Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back. It's Paula with Paula's Imperfect Plans. Today we are setting up our paycheck budget for November 15th of 2024. And so let's jump in. All right, so I anticipate my wages to be 12, 26, 18, and my husband's to be 15.40 and 89 cents. That is all I'm currently budgeting for this at this time. So that should put our income at $27.6707. And I've had some questions on, does that include, so that's after everything is taken out. That is our net pay. That is what comes into our bank accounts after all of our pre-tax, post-tax deductions, everything that's taken out of our paycheck. That is our net. I really like the way that Debt Free Jessie does, where she actually like puts the gross amount and then she shows like what's taken out and what's invested. So you can actually see what goes into their investment accounts and their retirement stuff. I might get to a point where I'm actually tracking that. Today is not that day though. And I actually purchased my spreadsheet that I use from her, which is where I play with all my numbers. I still like to see it all written out on here. But I love playing with numbers in my spreadsheet as well. So let's come down into our fixed expenses that we have. So I plan on a $100 donation. The minimum payment for our HELOC, which is our final debt that we are paying on, the November payment due is $338.36. I budget $196. So that varies, I don't know, based on the principal amount that we have. So as our principal goes down, that goes down a little bit. So I just try to increase the like side amount that I put on it as this amount goes down. $196 I budget for cell phone, $131 per pay period toward life insurance. Still nothing for the before school program, but I'm going to put lunch there. In school, that's going to be lunch. And for this pay period, so this is where I should get the credits from the month of October, what we purchased on the fundraising app, that we get to put it back on our lunch account. So I'm budgeting. Ooh, as I'm looking at this number, I'm like, that's probably not enough. I should have done that differently. I don't think that's going to be enough. So I'm going to change it really quick, which is going to mess up everything. So give me a second. Okay, so I'm going to budget $75 for my lunch and breakfast for my kiddos. Car registration, I put that away once a month, so $35 is going to that, which would be paid yearly. And so I pay half of the second half of our internet bill is $26.61. And then setting aside for car and homeowners insurance, it's actually going to be $0. It's due, I think the 19th. I just paid it though. So it is paid with the final amount that I needed for the premiums due in November. I took out of the November 1st paycheck. So I will not start funding that again until December. So I just kind of get a fun check where I don't have to save for that. So, excuse me. Let's go into make sure I got everything in that category. So our fixed expenses are $901.97. If I subtract that from $27.6707, that leaves me with $1865.10 left to budget. Then we'll move down into our variable expenses. My variable expenses don't vary all that much. I pull out $280 for groceries. I pull out $100 for eating out. Beauty is really just my pedicure, and that's going to get nothing because I got that with the last paycheck. Drinks, beer money gets $60. Oftentimes, that's probably what I roll over most often. So I was just telling a story, I think it was in my check-in, not in this video. I went to get myself a case of what I drank, or a 12-pack, I guess. And that was the first time I'd bought alcohol for myself since like either the end of August or Labor Day. So I don't buy myself alcohol very often. Not that, like, it's not like this is always getting spent. It usually gets rolled over. And then my husband drinks a certain kind of whiskey that he mixes with orange juice. And so oftentimes, most of the time, he gets that with grocery money. So it's... I started budgeting for it because our grocery money wasn't covering it, but oftentimes I do end up rolling it over into cash, into sinking funds or whatever else. Allowance, I'm going to change how I'm doing allowance. I'm going to do 120. I'm going to do 70 for my husband and 50 for myself. Nothing for work meals this pay period. And then for car washes, I did budget 30. We don't do a lot of car washes, but definitely as it gets colder, as they start putting sand and salt on the roads, we like to wash our cars more often just to get that off of there to decrease limit the amount of rust and damage that we're doing to our vehicles. Amazon subscriptions, I am budgeting 125. Whoops. Wait. Yeah, budgeting 125 for Amazon subscriptions. Not sure why I wrote 120. And then $12 for donuts. Donuts and church-related things for my kiddos. So that is the end of our variable expenses, I do believe. So let's go ahead and add those up. Okay, that's $727 in variable expenses. If we subtract that from the $1,865.10 that we had at the end of our fixed expenses moving into variable, that leaves us with $1,138.10 to take with us up into sinking funds. In our sinking funds, I plan to do $25 per pay period toward Christmas. For LP, which is toward winter heating costs that I save up for, that is $50 that I'm going to put in there this time. Travel, we do the 100 envelope challenge, and it goes into our online travel sinking fund. So I'm going to plan to put 100 toward that. Hopefully use 2 envelopes because I know I don't have the number 100 envelope left. Kids, apparently. Okay, so I have 43 right here. I guess I had to cut something. So I wanted to increase what I put in the kids sinking fund just because things for kids are expensive. I just paid for basketball and basketball shoes and a new pair of tennis shoes for a kid, and it took a bunch of what I had in my kids sinking fund. The online ones, I just need to start putting more than $20 away at a time. For gas, I am going to put $125 towards our gas sinking fund. $25 towards vehicle repairs, putting $53 into the 52-week challenge because I do it forwards and backwards in doing 2 weeks at a time, and that goes right into my emergency fund. I am putting $40 away into a sinking fund, high yield savings account labeled medical, and summer daycare. I'm putting $160 away per pay period for that in hopes that I have to cash flow very little next summer. And then into my cash envelopes and sinking funds is $280. And I believe that is everything that I have there. So okay, that puts us at $901 that we are saving. So I subtract 901 from 1138.10 that we had going into our sinking funds, which leaves us with $237.10 left to budget. I have nothing planned for other. I don't plan on putting anything in our buffer, so that will still leave us with $237.10 to budget, and then I come down into extra debt, and I plan to put that entire $237.10 toward our HELOC. which will leave us with a zero-based budget. So that is kind of my proposed initial budget right now. Looking at, for our second paycheck in November 15th. So November is a magic month for us. We got paid on the 1st, the 15th, and then we will get a paycheck on the last day. So if you're newer, you'll get to see how we do our, our extra paycheck, if you will, per month. Yeah, so this is what I have for today. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time.